Mr. Sly Geralds.
Y'all doing? Good to see you guys. Kind of early in the morning, but it's it's all right. It's Saturday. My name is Sly Geralds. Let me get rid of this echo. There we go. 1, 2. Anyway, my name is my name is Sly Geralds, and I currently am a teacher at the School of Rock, and we do music. We make musicians, as we like to say. Anyway, I have been playing 30 minutes. Okay, I've been playing a long time. I've toured with a bunch of people. My most recent thing, I was the musical director of the Harlem Gospel Choir, toured with Al Green, Levon Helm. I've been touring for quite a number of years. Oh, did it go out again? Okay, anyway, so I'm here to talk to you about a purely American art form of music. which is blues, jazz, rock, and funk. So, whether you realize it or not, the blues is truly like the only one is purely an American art form. In other words, it started here and fanned out across the world, right? So to understand a little bit more about the blues, I'm gonna play a little video of you. Questlove did a little mini documentary. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I'm gonna play a little bit of it so you kind of get an idea of where this all kind of started. So just bear with me for 1 second.
Music makers. My name is Amir Questlove Thompson, drummer and leader of the Roots. And we're going to go on a journey back into time through our history, through your funky emotions, as we go finding the funk.
Funk for me is our life. Funk for me is the word that was spoken, and this is what funk is.
I'd probably say it's rhythm and blues with people that couldn't cuss, but they wanted to sell and they wanted it best.
It's black rock and roll. It's when George said we have returned to reclaim the pyramids, that's what that represents to me.
Funk has a lot to do with the booty of music, which is like the backbeat, the dark keys, the pulse, and the thump of rhythm.
But if you have to try to tell somebody and start using words like syncopation and stuff like that, well, makes you dance and it doesn't do it justice.
We know it comes from the Congo, the fufi, which means bad body odor. So what I love about some of these black musical terms like jazz, there are all these curse words, or these some of these are derived from other languages, applied to black culture. And what we do is, funk is like sonic chitlins. We work out all the nastiness and the grease, and we take it and process it and make something out of it, something bad body odor into something beautiful. So you saw Africa writ large in funk music as a sound collage of the best of black identity.
Funk is the ability to make anything yours.
The root of all of the music comes out of New Orleans, but because, we have the serious sounds from jazz and early rock and roll coming out of New Orleans, and the tradition of dance in New Orleans, there's nowhere else to go but the funk, especially with the second lines and the rhythms of New Orleans. You mix that with the jazz sound and rhythm and blues, and you have the funk.
Being in those marching bands from New Orleans where we grew up, funk is such an integral part of the drum section. We have to constantly clap, blah, be on that beat with that funk, clap, goom. That's where it really started, that just that funk rhythm.
Mainly when people talk about funk, they talk about a form of rhythm and blues music that became very popular in the late 60s and early 70s. They emphasized explosive rhythm from the drums, from the bass, from guitar, a lot of arranged horn lines, and there are many sources for where the rhythms came from. We can look at, say, the beginnings of funk. You go back to, say, Louis Jordan from the 1940s, the jump bands that were in the post-big band era.
My background is in jazz, or I should say my front ground. I first heard the word funk when I was listening to Hard Silver records. Hard Silver was using the word funky, like Filthy McNasty, some of his songs, and also Cannonball Adderley would talk about funk, and these guys would talk about that on their records when they did live recordings. So it wasn't James Brown that I got exposed to the word funk, it was like actually jazz.
I mean, the funky was something that we called Horace Silver and Art Blakey and even some Miles stuff, but there was funk jazz in the early 60s And if you go back to old issues of downbeat, you'll see stuff described as funky jazz.
Well, with jazz, go back a generation and a half. With jazz had become really sophisticated as well. I mean, the jazz that was happening in the 60s, because of just the natural development of music, jazz had started in the 20s. So by the time you get to the 60s, 40 years later, jazz had become very complex. And then add to that the social aspect with civil rights movement, you know what I mean, and the hippie movement, the challenging of everything in the 60s. Jazz had become something that it was really out there, you know what I mean? And funk was a reaction to that.
A lot of people don't know that James Brown, it's Northern, and one of his best friends, a lot of his best friends were jazz music.
So I want to kind of expound upon just what Marcus Miller was saying. That, I don't know if you guys realize this, but obviously music cycles, right? So a lot of times what happens is you get the rawest form, like the innovation of a music. When a music becomes like when grunge became popular, when it first bursted onto the scene. Going back to the same thing with blues, what happens in arcs? So music starts out very raw, very fundamental. You know, you get like, it's very simple, right? It's that kind of thing. Very, very simple. Then what happens is that some people start to get involved with it and it becomes more complex. And then all of a sudden, you know, a lot of times what will happen is that the European influence will come in. So then you'll have, so what will happen will be more complex harmonies. So like a simple blues like I just played, so we may end up doing like, well, you know, something like, well, they call a storm in my baby. Tuesdays just as bad. So that, well, now that call a storm in my baby. Tuesdays just as bad. Now all that is super complicated, right? It's super dense harmony. And so for us to really, and then what happens is usually it goes back, it'll arc, it'll become very complex, and then people, purists, or as I used to call them like the blues and jazz Nazis. They'll like, oh man, that's too complicated. You know, they want to go back to the basic raw essence of playing the blues. So let's just talk a little bit about where the blues came. Where the blues came from is really, it originated from what we call field hollers. Does anybody know what field hollers are? Basically, it's a song, like the slaves would go out into the fields and work the fields, and if they were doing some kind of synchronized thing where they're breaking up rocks or breaking up, you know, or tilling the soil, a lot of times they would do it by hand, and they would have a caller or somebody that would call and he would sing something and they would repeat it and they would do it in time. So I'm going to employ you folks. So all I want you to do, you're just going to have to repeat after me. You don't have to say it loud. So we're just going to get a little clap going. I'm going to give you the time right here. You're going to repeat after me. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. Round about dawn. Round about dawn. There's a train coming. There's a train coming. Soon I will be gone. Early in the morning. Messed it up. Sorry, the call messed it up. Anyway, okay. Now, you got to understand something. Back in the time of slavery, there was hey, it's always great to see familiar faces. Anyway, it's back in the time of slavery, the slaves were not allowed to congregate outside of church or when they were in the fields. So when the Underground Railroad was starting to crank and slaves were trying to escape and go to the north, the only way that they could get the word out of when it was going to happen was through field hollers. So what did we learn? And we just said early in the morning, so automatically you know something's going to happen early in the morning. Round about dawn, there's a train coming, underground railroad. Soon I will be gone. So you see what I'm saying? So it was kind of like the community bulletin. And that's where it started. Hey! It's always good to have a family. So obviously out of that came, when emancipation happened and slaves started to live as free men and women rather, obviously when they would work Friday, Saturday nights, they'd want to go out to the juke joints. And a lot of times, these so-called field hollers had morphed into being something like dance music. Because back then, the blues was the top 40, of the land, right? With people like Robert Johnson and stuff like that. So if I did something, so you might go and you may find something like, let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. Just bear with me here. I got to talk to my drummer. I'm good if you don't mind. Right? Sometimes my drummer's stubborn. But the good thing about it, I only have to pay him once. There we go. Big boss man, can you hear me when I call? Can't you hear me when I call? Now said you ain't so big, yeah. You just tall, that's all. Boss man, big boss man, yeah. Big boss man, yeah. Can't you hear me when I call? Said now you ain't so big, yeah. You just tall, that's all. So you could take any song, and when we start to look at the like how funk and jazz and blues came about. So blues got together basically with jazz and had a baby called rock and roll, right? That's what they say, right? And then jazz and blues, rock and blues got together and gave birth to funk, as we call it. Now we could take just about any song and change it into a blues tune. A lot of times it's really about feel. So I'm going to employ you guys again. I'm going to employ you guys one more time here. So what we're going to do, I think we'll clap again. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to, I'm going to get you on board. So funk is really based on the downbeat, right? So so you guys are gonna play the downbeat. I'm not gonna use Mr. Drummer because he's giving me problems. So we're gonna do it on the one. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna set it up for you and give you 1 for nothing here. So it's good. Just clap that. Well, come on, keep it together, keep it. Yeah. I'll be good. Know that I would. I feel good. I know that I would. So good. just gotta take all of you to all my gigs. You just gotta set up at all my gigs. Anyway, so many things. Like I said, you could take, so originally, so we know that James Brown tune is big. Right? I got to play with Maceo Parker, who was the sax player in James Brown's band. And a couple times on a gig, in a clinic, in a similar situation like this, he had the whole group of musicians play as like as a slower ballad. So he had to do like, how feel you know that I will. So simply by changing the tempo made a huge difference as far as it being a pop hit, right? And James Brown had a really innate knack of really understanding what what would move people. He used to say, he goes, we got to keep them moving in their seats. Got to keep them moving in their seats. And he would take, a lot of his grooves were very simplistic. So what a lot of mistakes, a big mistake that a lot of younger players think about when they're playing funk is they omit the space. Funk is about what you don't play. Blues is about what you don't play, what you leave out, what you leave for the imagination, right? So so if I play, you tell me if I played this, if I went, let me get it. Or if I played this. So which one was funkier to you? Second one. Why? Because there's space. So your believe it or not, your mind fills in the rest of it. Like all that. Now there is a place for that stuff because James Brown and a lot of, and especially during the '60s and the early birth of when R&B and blues started to form, there was what they called go-go bands. You would go and I remember, I have a record, James Brown at the Apollo, and he did that exact same I Feel Good gig, song, but he played it like, I feel good. Very high energy, Tina Turner, right? Tina Turner, rolling on the river. That's a Creedence song, right? So Creedence did it like, never good job in the city, working for the man every day. But Tina took it up. Rolling, never good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. Never lost a minute in the sleep, working for the man night and day. I said the big wheels keep on turning, primary keep on burning. I said rolling. Now Creedence did the same thing, but she just took it up tempo to capitalize on the whole high energy thing. So I'm gonna play some stuff that I call them bridge tunes. They're tunes that kind of bridge the gap between blues and funk and modern dance music. So let's do. I'm going to rely on my drummer again. Incidentally, I don't know if you guys were wondering, some people asked me that a couple people asked me about this instrument that I'm playing. Yeah, so, right, okay. I might as well talk about it. So this is called the Chapman Stick. If you are familiar with King Crimson, Peter Gabriel, the bass player in that band played one of these. He played a 10-string model of this. This is 8 strings. And basically what it is that it's a guitar and a bass in my instrument. So I'm playing bass lines. Right? So I could take that, I could take a so I can do so this is giving me the guitar part on the top. It's still very early in the morning. I'm not coordinated right now. At noon, I get up around the crack of noon. Anyway, so very interesting. This song, this next song I'm going to play. It's so funny when I got to play this with Al Green when I was touring with his band. I toured with Al Green around 1994. Anyway, around that time, way back at the dawn of time, before grunge. Anyway, and he did this tune, and it's so funny when I hear, like, when I play this song out and people come and go, "Oh, I love this Talking Heads tune." He's like, okay, all right, no. Actually, Al Green covered it. Was the one who made it popular, but there was Junior Walker was Junior Parker. I'm sorry, Junior Parker was his name, and he's the one who wrote it. But Al made it famous. Guys are good. Guys are good. So, it's funny because we have at School of Rock, we have an adult program for basically the people who have aged out of the youth program, So, so when they first start college, we kick them out of the youth program and we say, you can go to the boneyard and play with the adults, right? Anyway, but we have a lot of fun, bunch of drunken fools. Anyway, but we have a lot of fun with the adult program, and it's really people that are, maybe they played when they were in high school or college, and stopped because life, they had kids and pursuing a career and paying a mortgage and that kind of thing. And they, put their guitar or whatever, or their drumsticks or their drum set in the closet, in the attic, in the basement, and under the bed. And and all of a sudden, they moved to Florida. This little voice that goes, move to Florida. And they go to Florida and go, hey, wait a minute, man. I used to play guitar. I used to beat the drums. He goes, where can I go where I can, like, you know, play with other people that haven't played in 20 years? And you know, and be cool and not look like it, not feel like an idiot. You know what I mean? And that's our program. That's our adult program. You know, it's a lot of fun, and we get people of all various abilities and stuff like that, and it's they are. I gotta say, out of all the groups that are, you know, the kids and stuff like that, the adults are definitely the most interesting. It's always the great stories, and there's always, you know, personalities, man, you know, but it's cool, you know. Anyway, so going back, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, I'm getting a little ADD here, but so that Take Me to the River was one of the first cuts that, one of the first songs that took like that very, very hyper blues kind of thing and put it more to like the R&B. That's when, I think around that time, 68, 69, where R&B, like the smooth R&B stuff started coming out. Because you gotta remember that Motown was super popular back in the 60s, right? And Motown was like, it was perfect. Like everything that they did was just like, it didn't have any, like Barry Gordy, because he came out of the whole doo-wop thing, the smooth doo-wop thing. And when he put Motown together, the writers like Smokey and stuff like that, they wanted to make a very, very smooth kind of a music. And to me, it lost a lot of the dirt, a lot of the edge, you know. Don't get me wrong, I play a lot of Motown stuff when I play. And actually, I'll play one right now, actually. One of my faves. I'm going to play all my favorite songs right now, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. So, yeah, I'll do this one first. I know you wanna leave me, used to let you go. If I got to beg and plead for your sympathy, now the mind it means how much to me, ain't too proud to beg, sweet darling, please don't leave me now, don't you go. I ain't too proud, please, baby, baby, don't leave me now, don't you go. I heard a crying is hell for me, no sense of pride. I don't mind weeping as long as it's keeping you. I said no more, ain't too proud to beg, sweet darling, please don't leave me now, don't you go. I ain't too proud, please, baby, baby, don't leave me, don't you go. I gotta sleep on your doorstep all night and day, keep you from walking away. Don't your friends laugh on this I can stand? I wanna keep you. Now anyway, I can't too proud to beg. Muscle Shoals, Stax Records, right? Aretha Franklin. Who's in here? Sam and Dave. Aretha Franklin, Sam and Dave, Isaac Hayes, Muscle Shoals, Mississippi, right? Muscle Shoals is in Mississippi. So Alabama, I'm sorry. And in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. So they were coming out with a little bit more of they were trying to bring it back to its raw essence. So, because you had people like, let's see here. You had folks like, you had Otis, right? Sitting in the morning sun, I keep on sitting till the evening's done, watching the ships roll in, and I watch it roll away again. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the time roll away, yeah. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I said, looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what these people tell me to do. Oh, I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, and the loneliness won't leave me alone. I said 2,000 miles on road just to make this dock my home. I said sitting on top of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I said sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. The shameful thing about this song is that Otis never lived to enjoy the popularity and how much this song affected the world, how it impacted the world. He died 3 months before the release of the album. And they weren't gonna release it. They weren't gonna release it in honor of, they were gonna wait a year, but it slipped out. A DJ got a hold of it, and then it caught fire. So they had to release it, because it was already being played on the radio. And it's just a shame that he never got to really reap the rewards of the popularity. So the last little thing I was gonna talk about here. My heart is really in roots music. And roots music is just another way of saying music that's kind of like minimal and soul stirring. So it usually has to do with, there's usually two big elements in it. It's usually blues based and somehow links itself back to like the church. Because I grew up in like a gospel, like a southern gospel. Hey! Oh, see, these are my friends here. I like to play, I'm going to play a song that I wrote to kind of signify that kind of thing. very simplistic blues. Yeah, I'm gonna get my drum. Sorry. Seems like we sat here, talked for years. Laughed so hard it drove us to tears. But when the sun kissed the morning dew, I knew that soon I'd have to leave you. So we sat out, we walked to dawn. Didn't know what streets we're on. When the clock on the wall struck 2, I knew that soon I'd have to leave you. And Sunday morning came too soon. Didn't know what to do. I lost my chance, I missed my cue. The Sunday morning came too soon. And Sunday morning came too soon. Didn't know what to do. I promise when my work is through, I spend my Sundays loving you. I promise when my work is through, I spend my Sundays loving you. Promise when my work is through, spend my Sunday, spend my Sunday, spend my Sundays loving you. So I don't know if you guys realize this, but every single, in American music, every single new genre of music that is introduced to the world has come out of stress and strife, mostly out of war. Believe it or not, during wartime, like the blues was a direct result of the Civil War, right? A lot of, and especially, and then around World War I and during the time of war, between World War I and World War II, blues became blues and like dance, jazz, like ballroom swing dancing and things like that, became very popular. You know, they came into their beings during that. And a lot of times, obviously, what am I trying to say? The content of the lyrics and the meanings behind a lot of these songs were a direct result of, you know, the climate. It's of what was going on socially, and a lot of times for the writers, economically. You know what I mean? Either whether it be hardship or whether it be prosper. You know, after the Korean War, there was a lot of very, very up-tempo, jump-style blues that came out. And the R&B stuff around that time, like the doo-wop era, came, you know, people started, you know, the GI Bill, so a lot of people returning from the Korean War and that kind of thing. You know, it was the birth of the middle class. So a lot of a lot of the 50s music reflected that. You know, when we have like believe it or not, this was from the 50s. Everybody know it, right? When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed no tears. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Darling, won't you stand by me? Won't you stand by me? Stand by me. When the sky we look upon should crumble and fall, and the mountains they crumble to the sea. No, I won't be afraid. No one shed no tears. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Yeah, I want you. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. 1956, I believe it is, that it came out, if I remember correctly. I wasn't around then, but in my fact checking, I probably have to go back and check. But anyway, like I said, the musical mood definitely changed. So you gotta remember, so in 1960, 68, 69, you know, the whole flower power movement, music was very, very free. There's a lot of jamming in the music. You know, we had Woodstock, we had, Isles of Wight, we had, you know, a lot of big festivals and stuff celebrating the whole flower power thing. And so the blues started to get funky. You know what I mean? Like blues and jazz started to get funky. Now we know like Miles Davis, right? Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock. So you started to hear like this cut. drummer. Sly and the Family singing. Sorry, my drummer, a little slow. There we go. Amazing what tempo does, right? Getting at the devil, staring at his gun. Bullets start chasing. Now I begin to run. Bullets start chasing. Now I begin to stop. We began to wrestle. That I was on top. Yeah, I wanna thank you for letting me be myself again. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Come on. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Yeah, different strokes of different folks, and thank you for letting me be myself again. Come on. Don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. I need your body, baby, from dusk till dawn. Don't need experience for you to be mine. You just leave it all up to me. We can have a good time. Don't have to be rich, be my girl. Don't have to be cruel to rule my world. And I'm a particular sign compatible with. I'll build your extra time in your kiss. Don't have to talk dirty, baby, if you won't pass me. I could give you the world, you know I'm giving you my heart. It's your destiny. Don't have to watch a honey boo boo have an attitude. You just leave it all up to me. My love can be your fool. Don't have to be rich to be my girl. Don't have to be cruel to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign or compatible with. Just want your extra time in your kiss. Come on now. Then we can go. We were dancing and singing and moving to the groove. It just went, it hit me. Somebody hollered out and said, "Play that funky music while just when it hit there, somebody hollered out. I said, now that funky music, why on? Play that funky music, why? Play that funky music, why on? Play down the boogie and play that funky music.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, there would, without James Brown, there'd be no Sly Stone. Without any Sly Stone, there'd be no Prince. So, you know, I mean, it's, and you see, and what in Wild Cherry, right? The funky music, right? You see how all this stuff just kind of intermingles. But undoubtedly, again, you know, James Brown started something. I'm gonna leave you with, I'm gonna play one more song for you. Leave you with one of my very favorite funky tunes. Too fast. Why you go so fast? Why you go so fast? No. Still no. Come on. So important. Tempo is so important. Too early in the morning. Now I've been sitting in the hall waiting for your call. Then the phone rings. It's just Gary saying, "Hey there, man. Go come around 12 with some Puerto Rican girls. Just down to meet you. We gonna bring a case of wine. Party like we used to. Make you wanna sing. Na 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 na. Come on. Na 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 na. Here we go, come on. I said, oh, baby, you wait so long. Oh, baby, you wait so long. You got to come on. that I won't miss you, baby. Can't miss you, girl. I've been lying. Now I can't miss you, girl. Here we go, come on. I said, oh, baby, wait so long. Oh, now, baby, you wait so long. You got to. Anyway, so that's one of my favorite ones. Like I said again, I am all about R&B and soul and funk and blues. I mean, to me, roots music, that's where it's at. You know. Any questions?
Could you give us a tour of your instrument? How do you even
Tuning?
tighten? Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, it's down here. So, if, so this instrument, so the Chapman stick itself was invented in 1974 by Emmett Chapman. It was actually invented in 69, but he didn't bring it to market, like he didn't make it for public consumption, basically until around 74. So this instrument is, you know, is younger than me. Anyway, but it's got a very it doesn't have a very long lineage. Like guitar is 500 years old. You know, if you go back to lutes and things like that. Where this is so we've only just begun to understand this. So I tune it here. So this is the bottom 4 strings of a 5-string bass. So I have a low B, like on a 5-string bass, and regular E, A, and a D string. That's it. I don't have a G string. And then these are the lower 4 of a guitar. So I can play chords, as you heard. I can play. And still keep a bass going. The reason why I decided to play this instrument was I wanted to have a little bit more control over music, and I wanted to learn more about harmony. Like as a bass player, our biggest, when I come from playing a bass, I'm sorry if I'm being a little jumbly in my speech here, but as a bass player, we're a single note monophonic instrument. And I wanted to be more polyphonic or explore more about harmony. And when I teach, a lot of times I talk. Eventually, the goal is to get all my bass students to start to understand harmony, because that's where the music is happening. You know what I mean? You want to understand, and that's really why I decided to take this instrument up, because, first of all, just a beautiful sound. And I got this little box on the floor here that has a MIDI pickup in it, and I can get so many different sounds out of it. I can get like a to myself, such a lucky guy. To have a girl like her is truly a dream come true. Out of all the fellas in the world, she belongs to you. Let me hear you sing. It's just my imagination once again running away with me. It's just my imagination running away with me. So yeah. So, and the funny thing about it is that I ended up getting, when I was a kid, my folks would let me stay up late on Friday and Saturday nights to watch. Does anybody remember Don Kirshner's rock concert? Right? Don Kirshner's rock concert. And I got to see so many different groups on there. And then the Saturday night special, right? That was on Saturdays. And I would stay, they would let me stay up some little, anyway, I was a young kid, and King Crimson came on, and Tony Levin was playing a Chapman stick. And I said, that's cool. I said, I'm gonna learn to play that one day. And I hadn't even, and I was a drummer back then. But anyway, I said, I'm gonna learn how to play this instrument. So fast forward 30 years, or 20 years rather, I was on a tour, and I used to come back into New York, and I'd basically be in New York for a week until I had to go back out on tour again. And I used to keep my stuff in a storage unit. So I'd have to go get a change of clothes out of my storage unit, and I was couch surfing. Here's my question for you guys. What do you call a musician without a girlfriend? A musician, a better musician, right? No distraction, right? A musician without a girlfriend is called homeless. So lo and behold, I was couch surfing in between my tours, and I went to the storage unit. I got to be friendly with the night watcher. And the guy comes out to me and goes, hey Sly, I have do you know anything about a stick? And I'm like, stick? What do you mean? He goes, a stick, a musical instrument. I was like, yeah. Now, meanwhile, my 9-year-old self was going, yeah, I know about a stick. You tell me all about it. So anyway, he went and got it. He goes, somebody abandoned it. Somebody left it there in one of the storage spaces. So he brought it down, and I'm sitting at the desk, and I open it up, and I do one of these numbers. I go, yeah, okay. It's a toy. That's what I told him. I told him it was a toy. Meanwhile, on the inside, I'm going, So he goes, I said, how much you, I said, are you giving it to me? He goes, no, you're going to buy it. I said, you found it in a storage unit. It was abandoned. He goes, you want it? I said, yeah. He goes, I said, I'll give you $75. He goes, I want $150 for it. Case and all. I was like, $150? I said, I'll give you $100. He goes, sold. So I bought my first Chapman stick for $100. And the funniest thing is that I had the good fortune of meeting the inventor of the Chapman stick. He actually made this for me. And him and his wife, he passed away sadly 3 years ago. And when I got to go out to Anaheim and meet him and go to his house. He made all of his sticks were made out of his garage. Now you gotta understand, in the whole wide world, there's probably only maybe 15,000 stick players in the world, as compared to like, what, billions of guitar players, right? But he made every single stick out of his house. He hand-touched every single instrument. And I have 4 of them. And professionally, there's probably only about maybe somewhere around 1,000 to 1,500 professionals that are using it on a gig right now. You know what I mean? One day, Stevie Wonder came to Emmett's house to try out a Chapman stick because he was looking for an instrument a stringed instrument he could play like a piano. And obviously, you play it like a piano, you touch it, right? So that was like the highlight of Emmett's life. You know, Stevie Wonder stood in his living room. Now, if you ever went to Emmett's house, Emmett has got sticks all over the place. You have to move sticks in order to sit on his couch. I remember going there, and in the kitchen, sitting along the wall by the kitchen table, there was all these sticks in boxes that were ready to be shipped. They had to go out to UPS. And incidentally, it would take about, you'd place an order, and it would literally take a year before Emmett, because Emmett wanted to touch every instrument that went out of it. Talk about quality, insane quality control. One last final note about Emmett is that Gibson and Fender both approached Emmett about mass producing the stick. There's a machine, there's like a lathe machine it costs about $500,000, but it's how guitars are made. And you put in the schematic into the computer, and then you put in basically blocks of wood at a time, and it cuts it to the exact measurements and the exact specs that you want. And then you gotta sand it and do all the hand finishing, but it cuts out the raw powder. And the stick is really just a board with strings on it. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. The traditional stick is just a neck. So it's easy to mass produce. But Emmett didn't want it. He felt that the quality control wouldn't be good. Now, anybody here familiar with Steinberger guitars? Okay, so Emmett and Ned Steinberger got together and created this instrument. And this one was geared towards guitar players and bass players that want to play an instrument that's like diesel, that can traverse both worlds, right? So Emmett and Ned got together and made this instrument. Obviously, it's got Ned's patented hardware on it. It's got a bridge and a headless headstock rather. And so what they did, they got together with a Korean manufacturer that was going to mass produce this instrument. And what ended up happening is that Emmett said, that's all well and good, but every stick that comes out of Korea has to come through my house. So you gotta imagine, was not cost effective, because they were making them like, they would make 1,000 sticks a day, and they had to go to Emmett's house, so it was like a backlog. So they never really got out to the customer. So, it was just Emmett's quirkiness, but, hopefully they're gonna, in his passing, his daughter and his brother are pretty good business minded. I'm hoping that they're trying to work out a deal right now, again, with Gibson. So, knock on wood, What we need is somebody famous to be playing this instrument to get it out to the world. Because Emmett told me that Jeff Beck had one. I have a picture of Jeff Beck holding his stick. And Eddie Van Halen had one. David Crosby had one. Stephen Stills, I'm sorry. Stephen Stills had one. There was a lot of very famous people that had it, but they did the typical thing. They play it for 6 months and it goes under the bed. That's what I did. I got my first stick for $100. I played it for about 6 months to a year, and then I had to go back out and make money playing bass, which was what I got hired for. And then it would go under my bed, and then when I got back, I'd play it again, go back under my bed, and that's the way it stayed for probably another 10, 15 years. Then in 2010, I decided I'm gonna get serious about this. Took it from under my bed, started playing it, found a teacher, very respected teacher in New York, and started to really learn how to play the instrument. And this is the journey. I went out and ended up buying 4 of them. and so I said, I'm gonna be a stick player. That's what I'm gonna do. And I sat down and learned, and I'm still learning, obviously. I'm still learning. But anyway, that's my journey, and I appreciate you guys. If you have any more questions, let me do that. If you've got any more questions, be happy to.
How do you actually get the sound? I play guitar, you pick it, you strum it, but you're just touching it.
Yeah, it's a touch instrument. First of all, it has a really super, super strong pickup on it. The pickup, so all you have to do is just touch it. Yes, you are correct. Playing them upside down. Because this is tuned like a regular guitar. Actually, if you sat down, if you played anything below the B string, your open B string, you could play the same chords. And in fact, Stanley Jordan, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Stanley Jordan, but he plays guitar, but he plays it, he's a touch guitar player. And he plays it like this. The good thing about this instrument in particular is that you saw I can play chords on it. Let me get a guitar sound. I can play guitar on it. I can go. Piano player that plays stride piano, or play boogie woogie piano, because I'm basically doing that same thing. I mean, I could do things like mess with her, you see a man. be my sweet little baby. I'm a little play toy. All right. So, any other questions? All right. Well, I want to thank you all. Thank you all so much.